Jessie Smollett, not or Juicy Smoo-yay, in the words of Dave Chappelle. Let's give this man some credit. He decided to leave the comfort of his basement, and he decided to do an interview. And he basically is maintaining his innocence, saying that it's all a conspiracy theory against him, and that the the people in government in Illinois is just out to get him, and that whatever he's his original statement stuff is true, and that they just trying to hold him down. Uh, Yo, do you believe Jessie Smollett, like not or Juicy Smollett, in the words of Dave Chappelle? Uh, let, let, let's let's give this man some credit. He decided to leave the comfort of his basement, and he decided to do an interview. And he basically is maintaining his innocence, saying that it's all a conspiracy theory against him, and that the the people in government in Illinois is just out to get him, and that whatever he's his original statement stuff is true, and that they just trying to hold him down. Uh, Yo, do you believe this guy? Like, what was your initial reaction when you heard about him getting beat up in the middle of on a store run to Subway and -5 degree weather?
So this was what 2018, right? This
Yeah,
wasn't
it
even
was like
last year,
like
a while ago.
yesterday.
Now, from the backstory that I had heard at the time was he felt that he was being underpaid on Empire. Now, guys like us in the trenches, from what all right, okay, so let's say he was making $100,000 per episode, which you do 10 episodes, you're already at a million. And with that said, he still felt that he was underpaid. So he thought to himself, oh, what is something that I can do to increase my clout and value? Now, I think I was talking to you when I was saying that after, Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion, her career, has a potential to increase because, society always supports the victim. You look at Rihanna before the Chris Brown, thing. She freaking skyrocketed since then. And then she just became this big, humongous artist that's, just as big as Beyonce, damn near. If not, they're on the same level. It's just that, Beyonce is obviously, more famous than she was. So basically that's what he was trying to do, from what I heard, was he was trying to create a situation and create a narrative where people would feel sorry for him, and then his career would grow as a result of, victimhood. That's why he was at the club saying, "Oh, I'm the gay Tupac," and trying to, make himself, make himself have people view him in a certain light, like he's, going hard for a certain cause because dude is gay, and then, this is a racial attack on top of being gay, and then so he was trying to get that whole thing. He was clout chasing basically. That was he was just clout chasing. And I don't agree with it because, again, to me, that's being greedy. You're in a great situation. Not ruin the show. If I'm not mistaken, I think they said that they were doing one more season of the show, and then that was going to be it. You're making $100,000 per episode. You're doing other movies because he was in the Alien movie. That was the last movie I seen him in. He was in Alien Covenant. And come on, bruh. Like, some people, that's what I'm saying. Some people get in a situation where their life is abundant, and then they want more, and then they're willing to risk everything in order to get that more. His career is not the same after that. If you know, I don't look at him. To me, I think he's lame. For that, to be honest with you, because you got guys like us on the come up, and then you have this dude really, doing some bullshit like that because you want more money, and then you were already making 100 G's per freaking episode.
Yeah,
I don't know, dog.
it's it's the fact that, and I got a great example of this. It's the fact that he felt that he should have got paid just as much as Terrence Howard, who, by the way, has been pretty much a celebrity in Hollywood for almost 30 years. That's comparing yourself to Terrence Howard is Absolutely insane. And this goes back to the whole Monique and Netflix thing. I don't know if you heard about this, but she did a whole thing like 2 years ago, maybe right before Jessie Smollett or Juicy Smoo-yay decided to do his little shenanigans. But she Netflix came to her to do a special, and I think they only offered her 500,000, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. And she felt that she deserved more. She deserved to get paid just as much as Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock. And her argument against Netflix was that they were being sexist to black women, and that because she was a woman, she's not as valuable as Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock. And it's this whole sympathy thing. Like, I understand, yet her thing is being a fat black woman. Uh, she felt that she was being undervalued because of that, and she started saying that her resume should speak for itself, and that because she's a black female, it shouldn't be holding her back from opportunities. But my whole thing is this: I understand that at some point in your career you deserve to get paid more. I absolutely 100%. But you can't demand to get paid the same as Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle specials sell all over the world. It's number one on Netflix whenever it comes out. People tune in to watch it. He sells out arenas everywhere he goes. What was the last time I've heard Monique selling out a comedy club or a theater was 20 years ago when she did like this whole reunion with Wanda Sykes and a bunch of other black female comics. So it's this whole sympathy thing. Like, I can't go up onto Avengers movie set tomorrow if I get cast and say, you know what, I deserve to get paid as much as Robert Downey Jr. It doesn't work. And then for him to come up with this whole scheme to say that because he's black and gay, these two white guys with MAGA hats decided that, you know what, let's go wait for him at 2 a.m. to go beat him up and hang a noose around his neck. It's just the reaches that people do to achieve fame and stuff. And like I said before in the previous episode, like, we live in a generation where people will do anything for clout, for fame, and look what he did. Now, I can't take it. Was he attacked that night? Most likely. But when you have two people who are white, two African brothers, actual brothers, that's not just a black thing I'm saying, but two guys who were background for the show coming out saying they were paid to stage this attack. You just, in my eyes, your career is over. Nobody's going to cast you. Everybody's going to think you're a risk, and people can't trust you no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You made people think that, white guys out there were beating up gays and black people when you paid off two black people to beat you up. To cause this whole panic within these different communities. And like Dave Chappelle said, a lot of black people didn't believe him. I
didn't. So,
-5 degree weather. You Jessie Smollett.
What are you doing out at 3 o'clock in the morning, walking from Subway when you got money?
Exactly. For a sandwich. Yeah, this whole thing screams desperation. And so now he's coming out saying
desperation because he's got money. Like, the man's got money.
And don't get me wrong, I do agree that people should let him speak on it a little bit. But this is my thing. When this whole thing blew up, he was the poster child for all these companies, and I'm sure he got a pay raise. But then when people found out the truth, he decided, I'm going to go to Cancun and go on vacation and disappear for 2 years. No projects coming out. And then all of a sudden comes out with an interview and screams that it's a conspiracy theory by the government to hang him out to dry. It's the whole victim thing again. Like, he's trying to make himself as a victim, and nobody's falling for it this time. And the only reason why I called my attention was the fact that he's still using the same argument that because he's black and gay, that they're trying to attack him and make an example out of him. And it's not, no, bro, you lied. You caused this whole frenzy, And when you got caught, you
He had no choice
decided,
but to wallow in it.
yeah, exactly.
Because
Whose fault is that?
he's never gonna come out and say, you know what, I lied, because then that's just gonna confirm how lame you are. So the only thing he could think to do is just say, oh, I was lying. It's really true. Even though the evidence is stacked against me, it was true. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He has to just, invest in a lie that, he knows for a fact is a lie. But I mean, he's lame. I'll quote Fabulous where, all right, you could be rich and you still a lame. Money doesn't make you exempt from being lame. Like, there's a lot of rich, lame ass people out there, and he's one of them. Because you making $100,000 and you have a platform, you got a voice, and then that's what you chose to do with your money and your time is to freaking stage a fake attack to clout chase and earn you more money. Whack.
Ridiculous.
Lame and corny.
At this point, though, his career is unsalvageable. No Hollywood production is going to hire him. No director is going to hire him, and he should really
look kind of good though.
Oh, I'm glad they aren't. I think his behavior should not be rewarded. Should be in prison. That's
I'll say that. I don't think he should go to jail, but
Well, apparently his whole reasoning behind this whole conspiracy theory and that the government's after him is because the state of Illinois is refusing to drop the charges against him. So, I mean, after 2 years,
time, idiot.
You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. And this is the government we're talking about. The moment you make a scene and you're a celebrity, it's over. Your career's over. There's no bounding back. No matter how much you plead and try to make yourself sound like a victim, your career's over. You threw your career in the garbage, and it's probably time for him to go find a job at McDonald's because hey, they'll hire him.
No, I just, like I said, to me, I hate to see things like that happen just because of the fact that it just wasn't worth it. I said, remember I said about Tekashi 6ix9ine, how you conduct yourself. You know what I mean? And why would you put yourself in a position where you won't be able to continue to prosper? You're an idiot because like I said, this has just come from a position where I'm somebody, I don't have anything. I'm still trying to come up. And then watching somebody squander it over some bullshit, nah, man. I can never condone that. I don't condone that sort of foolishness. Coonery, buffoonery. He's a coon for that.